Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping right in with something really cool that sits at the intersection of quantum computing and, believe it or not, your car insurance. So let's start with a question. Is your car insurance premium basically a gamble? And, in a lot of ways, it kind of is. The whole multi-billion-dollar insurance industry, it's all built on making a really, really calculated bet. A bet on you. And that right there gets to the heart of it. Insurance, at its core, is a high-stakes prediction game. I mean, their entire business model depends on one thing: getting the future right. Because if they get that prediction wrong, we're not talking about a small mistake. It can mean millions, sometimes billions in losses. So for them, taming that uncertainty, well, that's everything. But here's the thing. This whole prediction game is getting way, way harder. Just think about it for a second. The old ways of doing things now have to deal with all these new risks, right? Like crazy weather events causing more accidents, or the fact that our cars are basically computers on wheels, which opens up a whole can of worms with cyber risks. Okay, so with all that uncertainty, what are they using right now? What are the tools of the trade for making these supercritical predictions? Well, for a while now, the reigning champs have been these really powerful AI models. You might have heard of them: XGBoost, CatBoost. The way they work is pretty cool, actually. They build one simple predictive model, see where it went wrong, and then build another one to fix those mistakes. And they do this hundreds of times. It makes them super, super accurate. But what if a new player is about to step onto the field? And what if this player doesn't just play the game better, but completely changes the rules by operating on, well, a whole different level of physics? And this is where things get really interesting. Researchers are now looking at a hybrid approach. They're taking the best AI we have today and mixing it with something called quantum reservoir computing, or QRC for short. Now get this. The QRC doesn't replace the AI. Instead, it's like a superpower for the data before the AI ever touches it. Think of it like looking at your data through a special crystal. Suddenly, all these hidden patterns and connections that were totally invisible before, bam, they pop right out. So how does this hybrid process actually work? It's basically a three-step dance. First, you take the regular insurance data and you encode it into a quantum state. Then, the quantum circuit does its magic, enriching that data, finding all those hidden connections. And finally, you take this new, souped-up dataset and feed it back to a classical AI, like our old friend XGBoost, so it can make a way, way smarter prediction. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But the real question is, how does this new quantum challenger actually stack up against the current champs in a real-world fight? Well, researchers put it to the test. A direct head-to-head competition. They took a big chunk of real-world motor insurance data from 2018 all the way to 2022 and ran it two ways. One, just using the classic AI models, and two, using their brand new quantum-enhanced hybrid setup. So, the moment of truth. Did this whole quantum leap actually pay off? Did all that extra work make a real difference? Oh, yeah. The answer was a big, loud yes. And we're not talking about a tiny little improvement here. The results were, well, they were stunning. For some of the car models they tested, the new quantum-boosted AI was over 20% better at predicting how much a claim would actually cost. 20%! That's a huge leap in accuracy. And this chart just lays it all out, crystal clear. What you're looking at is the prediction error, basically how wrong the prediction was. Lower is better, right? So look at the classical models XGBoost and CatBoost. Their error score is up there around 5,600. Now, look at the quantum-enhanced one. It's way down at 4,490. That is a massive, massive drop in error. It's just so much closer to the truth. And it wasn't a fluke. This wasn't just for one type of car. They saw the same thing again and again across a bunch of different vehicle models. The quantum hybrid method was just consistently better than the best traditional AI every single time. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Quantum computing, isn't that like decades away? It's easy to dismiss this as sci-fi for the future. But this, right here, might be the most surprising part of this whole explainer. Here's the real kicker. You don't actually need a giant, perfect, fault-tolerant quantum computer to get these results. The algorithm is so efficient that you can run it on simulators using the powerful computers that companies already own. This isn't a someday technology. This is a quantum advantage you can get your hands on right now. And let's be clear, a 20% gain is anything but marginal. In the cutthroat world of insurance, an improvement like that isn't just a cool science experiment. It translates directly into millions, and I mean millions of dollars. So what does all this mean for you and me? Well, at the end of the day, better predictions could mean fairer insurance premiums, prices that actually reflect your specific risk, not just some broad category. Insurers who use this kind of tech could offer better prices, which means more competition, and that's usually good for us consumers. This is one of the first real, concrete examples of how quantum is starting to touch our everyday lives. And that's the thing. Seeing this kind of breakthrough in an industry as complex and data-heavy as insurance, it just makes you wonder, right? If quantum can do this for car insurance, what's next? What other industry is about to get a quantum-sized upgrade?